Hello, it's Captain Cairo here, and today we're going to be talking about how much mass you can actually put on your frame as a beginner, as an intermediate, and later on as a freak beast who can't fit through doors anymore. So let's get right into it. Now there are different formulas to calculate how much muscle you can put on, like you put in your wrist circumference and magically through math everything appears and you know how much muscle you can build. But since math itself is like magic to me, we're not going to dive into those formulas, and instead I'm going to give you some approximations taken out of a couple of studies that I read. First off, we have to know when you are starting out. If you're still going through puberty and you start out training, you have the advantage of testosterone pumping through your veins, making you grow like an erection when you watch Belle Delphine's OnlyFans. Puberty hits you like a brick, and using that for your advantage to build more muscle mass than someone who, let's say, starts out in their 50s. I say mass because you're still gonna be growing taller, etc., but you're gonna be building muscle too. So now we know that the younger you start, the faster you can build muscle in the beginning because of that sweet testosterone pumping through your body. 1 or 2 pounds of mass per month, or 1 to 1.5 pounds of lean muscle mass approximately in your first year is totally doable. Now I stopped using the metric system because shit sounds way more impressive in pounds, and that's why instead of saying I deadlift 100 kilograms, now I say 225, and that makes me sound like I'm way stronger. I gather that's probably why the US has never changed the metric system, so they can sound a little bit more impressive when lifting in the gym. Now of course, the more you perfect factors like sleep, nutrition and training based on progressive overload, you're gonna be either on the higher or lower end of the spectrum. If you start out in your 20s, you still have the same advantage of high testosterone, and starting from 30 to 35 years, your testosterone will be declining approximately 1 to 2% per year, giving you a slight disadvantage the older you start out. Now, being in a calorie surplus is only imperative if you are skinny, which means that if you are overweight or you have some extra fat on your body, you can actually build this muscle in a calorie deficit. Of course, you're going to be losing some mass because you're burning fat, but after a certain point you're going to be putting on more muscle and weighing more, since you've already burned the fat that you're going to be burning, and the muscle is starting to outweigh what you have been weighing before, and muscle weighs more than fat, so at a certain point, instead of losing mass, you're actually going to be gaining mass. Now, I'm not a fan of dirty bulking where you shovel as many calories in your esophagus as possible until you vomit, since all of those extra added calories are not gonna be speeding up your muscle mass transformation. But what it will be speeding up is you looking like the Michelin Man and dying of a heart attack in your 30s. Lean bulking is the way to go. First off, because you're not gonna be oscillating between bulking and shredding all of the time. And second point being that you're building a lean foundation of muscle mass, hopefully not being in a hurry. I know nowadays everyone wants to build as much muscle as fast as possible, but if you're not competing, it makes no sense absolutely to put so much stress on your body. And of course, studies show that oscillating between gaining a lot of mass, losing a lot of mass, and going up and down like that is not that healthy. And usually people who dirty bulk look like shit anyway until they start shredding, and there they lose all the muscle mass gained extra, and they're stuck in a circle jerked of the devil between going up and down in mass and never really progressing anyway. So lean bulk is the way to go. If you disagree with this, you can let me know in the comments why you're wrong. After you have your noob gains in, which is what we call it in the bro science industry, the speed of your progress will be slowing down. Year 2 will yield you approximately half as much gains as you did in year 1, so you can calculate that out by yourself. And we're assuming here that you have kept a consistent training regimen with good nutrition and good sleep, and not went on a college binge of 6 months of drinking. Now of course there is a genetic limitation to how much muscle you can actually put on your frame, and after a certain point, let's say 10 years in, you will be gaining way less muscle until you finally reach a plateau where you can't actually break through, or can you? After the second year of consistently lifting, your gains will slow down to approximately 6 to 9 IBs per year and decrease from there on until you're happy with gaining 2 or 3 IBs per year if it's a really good year. Now of course those are approximations, don't forget everyone is different. You might have those alien genetics where you put on 30 IBs of muscle in a year. That's a 1 in a million chance, but of course we all think that we are 1 in a million, so who knows. So again, we have year 1, 1 to 2 IPS per year, year 2, half of that, year 3, 6 to 9 IPS max, and after that it's gonna be declining until you reach a certain point where you either can't break through your plateau or you're only gaining 2 or 3 IPS per year max. Now you've probably seen some Instagram or YouTube transformations like Tifu, who put on 30 pounds in 6 months and claimed that if he was on gear he would have actually put on 50 pounds of muscle mass. Fully Unfit would probably call him a fake natty puss boy, but I have to disagree. He probably has 500 cc's of pure testosterone coursing through every cell in his body, making him a super freak Saiyan. What I'm trying to say is, don't be discouraged. Fuck the fake natties, work on yourself, build your own foundation, don't be in a hurry. Building a really good physique is actually a lifelong goal and not something you're gonna finish in 6 months and be happy with for the rest of your life, just sitting on the couch doing nothing. So keep that in mind. Thank you for tuning in. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't like the video, tell me to fuck off in the comments. Please subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon. Captain Cairo. Peace out.